Hello everyone and welcome back to Rogue Trader. In the previous episode we met a trader named Joe Hindari, maybe that was her name, and we escorted her here to get back her stolen cargo, and it turned out that the liege tried... Oh, what's that?
Always keep
Oh,
your
just
eye on
us
the
paying.
price.
Okay, I thought it was the cultist sign. And we helped her getting back her cargo, and the leash of the station wanted to eliminate her and steal her cargo, which contained a lot of xenotech. So now,
Rise
to
to
continue
the top,
to explore
or get left
footfall,
in the
we also encountered the quarantine zone, and we can I'm pretty sure we can enter that zone and solve the problem, so we'll do that. The other thing, I still haven't found that statue where there's something hidden behind it and we can access to a vendor, and it's supposed to be in the shadow quarters. So I think we will run around one more time. Or was it? Let's check our notes or rumors. Maybe yes, the rumors tab might have some more answers. Rumors. Contracts? No contracts. Gonna check the quests. Utter Spirit. On the hunt for knowledge. Hunger's Hand. It's vital to keep an eye on the potential so the local inhabitants of Liege of Footfall can provide more info. There are people still in the quarantine zone. Yes, that's the quarantine quest. Okay, so that's the quarantine zone. And we explored everything. Let's get back to the Amasekus and talk to the bartender. Maybe she is the one
Is there money to be made?
who can trade. We see or overheard a conversation that she is dealing something under the counter. But maybe we just failing an attribute test, and that's why we don't get the option. But we will find out. I think she should be right there. Upon noticing you, Octavian immediately drops what she's doing and bows her head respectfully. Welcome to the other Amasekus. What it will be? Octavia freezes in a place. It can be, it's again the sister thing. Okay, I'll be going. Or maybe we should ask for something strong. Give me something strong. It shows you an empty bottle and makes a helpless gesture. I'm sorry, sir, this was the last bottle of that year. What can I say? We are all feeling the burn of footfall shipping problems. Okay, I'll be going now.
I always have a backup plan.
What? Have we been here before? These are private rooms. Can we somehow... Oh, there's the
I
door.
always keep my options open.
Okay, it was a good idea to come back here after all.
Keep your wits about you.
Worker, refugee, thug. Okay, we will have some problem here. Wow! Oh, by that one, that's him, isn't it? The poor sap who got his tongue cut out by the N-verse. That's the one. I think he was from the Kazbalika. Well, his troubles are over now. Can we prove them? Yes, you can. They say that Octavian, the owner of the other house, keeps interesting wooden heads under the counter of their friend, for her friends.
Over.
This upholstery of dirty sofa moves slightly. A soft hissing can be distinctly heard from the depths of the furniture. And that's all we can do. Something else technical? No. Okay, let's...
My warp sight reveals something.
Oh! Some goods.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Okay, this is a fun place. We are walking into a room and somebody just shoot himself. Oh! Someone with a win. The woman looks to be in her 40s and she's surveying you with interest. Her right eye appears almost black against her dusky skin, while her left eye emits a greenish light filtered through the smudged lens of prosthesis. Her arms are tattooed all the way from the base of her shoulders to her knuckles. Okay, she's also important. Looking for something specific you're buying or maybe selling? Don't be shy, just ask. Old Riza knows all kinds of folks. My boss will fetching you anything your heart desires. Ah, yes, I think the pirates meant her. Riza falls silent through her eyes don't leave your face. Her expression gradually shifts from tactless interest to astonished deference. I know you, Trakan. Who would have thought a high flyer such as yourself would ever land in our neck of the woods? The audacious schemes you've pulled off there the stuff of legend. Even the Kazbalika could learn a thing or two. I think she's referring to our criminal past. For somebody like you, I offer only the best prices, the real deal. Grandpa Bakwal says hello. Riza's face breaks into a broad smile. That old rascal, I thought he had crawled in the mines a long time ago, but old man Bakwal is still alive and kicking, you say? Me and him have been through a lot of interesting scrapes together, and all the weird and wonderful things we acquired. Bakwal wouldn't send his regards along with just anyone. You must done him a good turn, and because of that, old Riza is going to give you a special discount. Okay, that's good. Let's see what you have to offer. We are buying the medkits. Not a bad damage. It's called grants a protection and for melee attacks. But it's basically free, so This has only melee weapons, and even with this I think the better one is the Thunder Hammer we have. So that's worth body glove. That's an interesting item. But I think we don't see any Eldar stuff here, so at least just Dark Eldar.
Let us not dawdle.
Okay, we find the lady we were searching for. So now let's get back to the Liege and ask him to enter the quarantine zone, because he can grant permission, and we'll check his prices as well again. And we should talk to the good father that we exterminated the heretics. Maybe he will give us something, a profit rate, a little bit of reputation with the faction. Or if he just gave us a Meltagon, I would be happy with that. Also, I want to check on the factions, if we have seen everybody. Also a good question, if no matter who I talk with a faction, everybody has the same inventory? No, I suppose not, because the guy in the bunker on Rika's Minories from the explorators. Oh, we have a direct link to here. Okay, that's nice. So that guy has a different inventory than the guy on this station. Greetings, your lordship. I don't mean to hurry you, but I do hope that our deal is still in place. The station continues to experience increasingly severe shortage of provisions. The mask of gold courtesy vanishes from Valadim's face as soon as he takes in the air, which is penetrated with the miasma of sewer stench. He grimaces desperately, fighting the urge to turn his head away, but eventually regains his composure. Okay, I know why that happened. He wanted to deal with us, and I'm okay with that. I did what you could not. I found and neutralized the Anvil's agitator-in-chief. That is a truly outstanding accomplishment. Your lordship, footfall can now rest easy, at least until the next Met Hoodlum makes himself known. Let's get down to business. I'm interested in your wares. So this is the Kasbalika mission. Alloy Plus grenade. These are looking good. And maybe this guy... Fusion gun, that's nice. Calibrated heavy stubber. Self-calibrating goggles. The real success. Single attacks influence stun on the target for 1 round if the target fails a willpower resistance test. Oh, Stormbolter. Mezzopatta sniper rifle. Well, it's the Second Bane of Sorrow. We need this. And 30 and 32. Yeah, this is also a sniper. Yep, we want that gun. And the heavy xenomesh also looks good. Storm, okay, we have a lot of good things with him. So we should raise reputation with the Kasbalika mission. They don't even interested in sorry guys. They don't even interested in holy gifts. Melee weapons, rage weapons. Mechanicus creations is better with I think we should sell only these top 3. So any jewelry we have. No heretic trophies. We are trading this, but there's no real point. Okay, let's check what are these. Okay, Imperium. Anvers not. Can we convert this? No, we cannot convert that to anything. Okay, I think I will leave it that there. And now we request. What is happening in the Shadow Quarters? Why is the quarantine? Oh, that he grimaces. Who knows? It could be an actual epidemic, or perhaps the 2 families that started it all just came down with food poisoning at the same time. We're on a space station. The best solution here is to isolate the area and wait for the problem to resolve itself. I've been told that when the previous Liege was faced with similar situation, he ordered that the entire asteroid to be detached and dropped into a star. I wish to help the people in the quarantine zone. I will have medicine delivered to them from my ship. I can't bar from your doing so, but I can't help but note that it's not the wisest course of action. With all due respect, your lordship. Other matters demand my attention. Then I won't take up enough of your time. Wow, that's deep.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Now we're leaving here, and we will be going back to the father. And he should be at the end of this road. So we don't need to go inside. I think we need to go inside into the quarantine. Hieronymus. Your request has been fulfilled. The cruelties done in the Shadow Quarters has been cleared out. Yes, some reputation received. A grim smile brightens his features and he makes the sign of the Aquila. I hope that their suffering was commensurate with their deeds. Okay, let's see what the followers have. Heavy bolter. That could be also that word. Enforcer light case. Focus melt gun. Yeah, we have good stuff here as well. Okay, let's try to increase reputation. We had all the gifts somewhere. Yes, there are some holy gifts. Don't have jewelry, but we have ship. We have ship components. Yes, we do. And the armor kit is nice here. Okay, we have one. So we can have the wearer's first melee attack in combat can be parried or dodged. An allied change sword. Okay. Now let's quickly check our guys. Rogue Leader's Cloak. Each heroic act used in battle increases the wearer's dodge by 20%, and the wearer's range attack decreases the target's dodge by 5%. Does not stack. And this is a better one. And I wanted to see glowing stone. Oh, but it doesn't have any quality, so we're moving it into cargo, and we cannot move that into cargo. All right, about this. No. What? We have something like this, but we don't want to. It's too much strength, and no. I don't do in Dark Eldar weapons. Okay, it's the same thing. So let's add it to the cargo. I keep this ancient machinery. Maybe we can use that. Weightly axe. No, we don't need axes. So we're adding that to the cargo. Have las guns. We don't need las guns. Warhammer, sub revolver. Sniper rifle. Don't need any more sniper rifles there. I just want to clean up our inventory a little bit and see what kind of cargo we can. Bloodhound stuff. Water navigator can equip. The first use of an attacking navigator powers does not set the attacking navigator powers on cooldown. The second use of navigator powers will deal an additional plus 6 damage to all targets and 6 direct damage to the navigator. This is the exact thing, and it's just melee weapon cargo. Come on. We're adding the swords to the cargo. Okay. Let's give you a grenade. Pascal has plenty of grenade. Let's give you another grenade. This portion the price -5 penalty. But you already have a helmet. Whoa, what's that? She looks here very differently than the portrait. Fellowship. Let's put that on her. Maybe a better body glove. Yeah, let's put a better body glove on her. Holy vestment. But he got the logic. The 10th of the logic armor, and his logic skill is 70, so that's +7. I don't know. I think we can exchange. What's the difference? I don't see any difference. But flak armor is even better. Some cape reduction for melee attacks. What's the cape on him? And you immediately remove one of the effects on them in the following order. That's better. Who else does? Yeah, he sometimes does a melee attack, so I guess it's okay for him to have that. Okay. Now,
Is there money to be made?
we will move back to the shadow quarters and check the leash, palace, warehouse, the rest of footfall. Maybe we should go to the rest of footfall, and from there we can go to the shadow quarters. Yes, because this will bring up the menu where we can select the shadow quarters, and let's enter. Of course we have to go there because there's cargo in that quarantine zone and we need that. And I still haven't checked on the various factions. Come on. Okay. And I want not this one, not this one. Reputation. Explorators. Fellowship of the Void. Crossbody Commission. Ah, the Imperial Navy is... Oh, maybe the Imperial Navy will sell us upgrades for our ship. So we have to keep that in mind. And these are the more expensive factions. So we might don't want to invest any more in these two. But we will check. And now we might be able to get inside. The foreman of Utility Crew 3 is whistling some jaunt tone. I wish to enter the quarantine. No dice. Okay.
Keep your wits about you.
So we can't enter the quarantine zone. Not even after speaking with police. And I didn't see any more option there.
Always keep your eye on the price.
Now let's go to the void dock. And I want to check on the explorators stuff. And then we have to make a decision. Well, no, we don't have to make a decision. We can deal with both faction. And also, I think we can find ways to increase our reputation with them. Yes, we want to speak with him. We can increase the reputation with them, I think. Let's check on the trade things. There's a better plasma pistol here. Heavy plasma gun. That would be also very, very nice for an arc rifle. When you hit the target with the arc rifle, you also attack any enemies with 2/3 of the target. Okay, I don't want to. Oh, it's just that. What? Oh, it's a solid. Okay, then it's not that important to us. But that would be very, very nice. Deadly repeater is also a sniper, but we want the alien one. Okay, let's see what can we trade here. Mandicus creation only? No. Okay. So they want us to have holy gifts, but we don't have holy gifts. I think the ranged weapons will be pretty low everywhere all around because we can find a lot of weapon cargo. Maybe I dump these things in here. Of course, we can't reach the good stuff right now, so maybe I hold on to things. I think this will be crucial in the future. And let's check the journal about the shadows are the deepest of all. The road captain is decided against going to the dangerous location in Perth. However, the Liege believes that after the death of the last victim, the captain orders help will be sent to the residents of the sealed off area. Okay, I think we have to go back for that later. Okay, then we are ready to return. Oh, it's Henrix. Familiar figure turns to you. Henrix von Kalox, interrogator of the Ordo Xenos, bows his head respectfully. Lord Captain? Honored interrogator, what a surprise. Did you perchance leave something in your cabin? Not at all, First Officer Versain. I am not in the habit of leaving a trail, but I thank you for your concern. Greetings, interrogator. To what do I owe the pleasure of this latest visit? Only to our mutual duty to humanity. It is that duty that demands that I disturb your peace once more. I was able to contact my mentor and report the tragic events that transpired on Ricard Minoris. I also received some information from my agent regarding the movements and actions of enemies of humanity, including the Xenos that we are assuming were involved in the theft of the star. According to their findings, the threat now hangs over other worlds. This time yours, Lord Captain. Henrix clears his throat and begins to pointed official tone. By the order of Lord Inquisition Xavier Calcazar, whose duty is to stand sentinel over Chronos Expand, the rogue trader Jose von Balancius is take on board the agent of the Most Holy Inquisition and provide escort and support in deeds great and small that serve to safeguard the territories of the Imperium against its enemies. This decree is effective immediately upon announcement and remains in effect until decided otherwise by His Excellency Calcazar. Idra whispers invariable. All I got from it is that riding ourselves of this snitch won't be easy. What exactly caused this need to rejoin my crew? The cause is the activity of humanist enemies, including the cult of the Final Dawn. In my absence, the situation in the Chronos Expanse has changed. I have received an exhaustive report from my agent. This heresy has taken root in the region where the von Balasinus worlds lie. You probably already know about the fate of the industrial world of Kiaba Gamma. If not, then I will share the details I know, but not here. Better to talk on board where we will not be overheard. I, Rogue Trader Takamo Balancius, welcomed the agent of the Golden Throne aboard my ship and taken on the responsibility of assisting him in the fight against the evil that threatens humanity. Henrix gives a reserved nod, an answer befitting a righteous servant of the Emperor. If duty has brought you aboard the Rogue Trader ship once more, then such is the Emperor's will. Welcome back, interrogator. Thank you, sister. It is an honor to be traveling with one of the blessed Adapter Sororitas. Master von Kalox, Cassia's voice is brimming with genuine joy, which she immediately hides behind a facade of high-born primeness. Since you are with us once more, I do hope you will find time to finish our conversation about the literary works of Kronhaller the Blessed. I will make every effort, Lady Orselio. I must also deliver this to you. Henrix pulls out a sealed letter. The Lord Inquisitor specified that the contents of this envelope are for your eyes only. I would ask you to read it as soon as you have the time. Okay, we have a letter now. That is everything for the time being. Are you headed to the ship, or do you still have business on footfall? Whatever the case, I can either wait for you on board or accompany you as a part of your retinue. No, Henrix, you're. Oh, maybe we should have him in our company, just to level him up, and then we can return to the ship. And he's still a warrior, okay. Let's see. He's a psyker as well, so willpower is important for him. Let's increase the strength. No, increase the agility, so he will have more dodge. He's already have power sword. No C rating for him. Range. Whenever an effect applied by the psyker increases the damage suffered by a target, this effect is increased by half. Whenever the psyker is healed or heals an ally, if the character is being healed already at full wounds, the character instead gains temporary wounds equal to the healing. These temporary wounds do not stack. Adrenaline surge. The first turn of every combat, all psychic powers of the biomancy discipline cost -1 action points. That means he has more actions. And that might be not a bad idea for him, because he can heal someone and do whatever else he wants to do. And the rover becomes a priority target. That's okay. Complete. He can also be an arch militant, but he is a weapon guy, close combat weapon guy, so we make him a vanguard as well. Until the start of the next turn, the Vanguard gains damage and armor against enemies in a 2-star radius. And additionally, when the ability is cast, all allies have 2-star around the Vanguard. Gain the following ability on the Hammer of the Emperor. C rating 2. What's up? Okay, that's just Light of the Emperor, C rating. Defensive stance. Let's put a defensive stance on him as well. Combat enemies gain no melee support bonuses against this character. Or we can increase his toughness. Or weapon skill. Well, he is hitting good. Let's increase his toughness. Okay, and that would be all. Yes. Let's check the letter from the Inquisitor. I feel that it is important, but journal. Okay, that's these empty slots are not good in our inventory. May the Emperor's faithful forever remain in the light of his favor. Let me first express my condolences with the tragic death of the most honorable Theodora von Valancius. Nevertheless, I was elated to learn that the warrant of the Rogue Trader has been passed to a worthy and promising heir. These words are not hollow compliments, but rather the Inquisition's official opinion on your person. Okay, that's that's a good thing. As fate would have it, you have taken the reins of the von Valancius dynasty in an hour of most dire, when grim portents of dark events to come are surfacing throughout the Chronos expanse. I have been duty-bound to become the first sentinel who sees the approaching threat, and I hereby alert you that is indeed coming. Our loyalty and resolve will be tested. People such as you and I will become the pillars that will unite the Emperor's frightened children and inspire them to fight back. And so I greet you as my dependable ally and assure you of my favor. From now on, you have a trusted friend within the holy orders of the Emperor's Inquisition, and a receptive confidant on whom you can rely. Should the dark times ahead require to make questionable choices, we have no doubt that such an incident will be examined in an exceedingly temperate fashion that rules out the most radical forms of judgment. I have faith in the success of your partnership and thank you for your contribution both past and future. Lord Inquisitor Xavier Calcazar. Wow, we are backed by an Inquisitor. But I like that when in doubt, save. That's not what Jamie Heineman said. So it would be much better if we meet him with person and do some quests with him, but I think Henrix is the next best thing for that. Lord Captain, the inspection of the ship system is complete. The tech priests are reporting the machine spirits are calm and satisfied. Everything is ready for onward travel, except there is an issue you must be made aware of. Of course there is an issue, always there is an issue. Cassia makes a quick nervous gesture adjusting the adornment over the third eye. I have been studying the records left by the vessel's previous navigator. I wanted to double check the route to Dargonus and discover that it does not match the one recorded in the Atlas. It is more than a minor warp fluctuation. The road has been wiped out. It can no longer be used for traveling. To make matters worse, I started checking the paths from the Atlas on the one after the other and saw the same thing everywhere. The warp is rolling with an ominous storm, bursting with vivid and screaming colors. It will not hinder our movement, but all previous knowledge is now utterly useless. Argenta angrily chops the air with a side of her palm. Warp storms are our enemies, just like heretics and demons. It is a shame they can't be dispersed with a flamer or a bolter. Now we can be certain that problems with astropathic communication in the Chronos Expanse are no coincidence. There is a warp disturbance in your way, Lord Captain. It is swallowing messages and disrupting familiar routes. This means you need to locate the keywords of the Von Balancius Protectorate as soon as possible. I am talking about Janus, Dorganus and Kivia Gamma. Charting new routes so they can be reached and restoring control will be the necessary next step. What would be the consequences of losing contact with these worlds be? A world deprived of connection to its neighboring system and the Chronos Expanse infrastructure can only rely on itself, and their capabilities are often limited. For example, Janus doesn't have a fleet of its own. Pirates, cultists, heretics, Xenos, anyone could prey on the helpless planet. The loss of communication is a threat to your position. A rogue trader with no protectorate to back them is one that grows weaker by the day. The Voxmaster is entirely correct. You are a rogue trader, Thrakan von Balancius, the successor of Theodora von Balancius, one of the most influential women this side of the Maw. But you are also new to the business of governing. Many will adopt your competence and try to crave up your protectorate so they can snatch a piece of themselves. It is important to show your potential allies and force that you are in control of the situation, which is why the sooner we reclaim these lost worlds, the better. Tell me about Janus. The surface of Janus was altered extensively so the planet could be designated an agri-world. It is a powerful food base capable of supplying the burgeoning protectorate and exporting provisions to outer worlds at the same time. Janus owes much of its prosperity to the governor house of Viat. Under its leadership, the world has grown even more prosperous year after year, securing shipments and taxes while keeping the workplace tightly controlled. What is with Kiava Gamma? Industrial world Kiava Gamma is being managed by the Governor House of Gapark and supplies your protectorate with rare mineral resources. Additionally, the planet features an Adeptus Mechanicus Manufactorum that processes materials and prepares them for shipment. I knew Pascal has something to say about that, I just knew it. I testify that Kiava Gamma is a world marked by the Omniscience patronage. By his grace, the manufactorums on the colony are inhabited by committed and industrious machine spirits. Henrix Cox quality. Mr. Stoliman neglected to mention that the Kiava Gamma manufactorum also supplies heavy machinery for forage harvesters to vessel systems and components. Abelard turns his hard eyes on Henrix. You display commendable knowledge of our world's manufacturing capability, Von Kalox. Pleased to be of service. And this is also a hint that he knows the Protectorate pretty well. He did his homework when he was signed to us. What do I need to know about Dorganus? Dorganus is the heart and soul of your Protectorate. It is where the main administrative resources and storage facilities are, and so is the Von Balancius Palace. If you would like to know, this is where you will publicly accept the title of Rogue Trader. Dorganus is a major administrative hub that runs the cargo fleet and keeps track of finances. I know we have to go to Janus, so we can restore food shipments and we can set foodfall. We made a promise and we should fill it, so that would be the first world we're going, unless they have a far better reason to go either of these worlds. I know there's some heretical uprising there, but we will quell it by the help of the Inquisitor, but we have to get food to the people on the station, and it is tied into our iconoclast. Conviction, maybe conviction. Very well, of course is clear. Do my officers have any other issues that require my immediate attention? That is all, Lord Captain. The vessel and the crew await your instruction and are ready to depart for immediately should you so desire. And we cannot, okay, we cannot ask him. But before we go anywhere, we had to talk with Henrix and we had to talk with Argenta as well. So let's get chatty. Okay, let's talk to Henrix.
To what do I owe this visit?
We wanted to discuss the nature of your mission.
Yes, but not here. I wouldn't want our conversation to be gossip fodder on the bridge and in the officers' mess.
Then can you invite you to my what apartment, to my quarters? Yes, we are doing that. Okay. Henrix nods slightly. Thank you for finding an opportunity to talk. I trust now would be a good time to explain the reason for my return aboard your ship. I welcome the chance to assist the Inquisition with its inquiries. One Calox. Lord Captain, your enthusiasm is commendable. The interrogator smiles, but his eyes remain cold. To business then. The cult of the final dawn. The madmen preach their heretical doctrine among the denseness of Chronos Expand and instigate crimes against the throne of humanity. One such crime took place in your protectorate. The Lord Inquisitor considered it necessary to have one of his acolytes accompany the rogue trader on the voyage into the corrupted region. I also need to meet with one of my observers on the capital world of your domain. Why would Ordo Xenos agents investigate Chaos Cult? You are well versed in how the Inquisition is organized, Rakan. Yes, initially arrival in the Chronos Expanse was dictated by the need to fight Xenos, but there is more. The cult is tangentially related to main specialization. Perhaps I will be able to reveal the full truth someday. But right now I ask you to display humility and patience. I think they are somehow related. Well, of course, the Inquisition has spies everywhere, so that's not... let's clear things up. A chaos cult in my protectorate. Henrix, are you laying an accusation against my dynasty? Chaos treads softly, Kraken. The main danger of secret cults and sects is that they are like seeds. They can remain in the ground for decades, safe from all scrutiny, until an opportunity to sprout, grow, and bear monstrous fruit presents itself. The emergence of a cult on one of our rogue traders' planet does not mean the dynasty head himself is a chaos worshipper. Having said that, it should be noted that Theodora von Valancius was famous for her loose interpretation of the freedoms granted by the warrant. Henrix regards you with a probing look. A bloodline can be stained by ancestral transgression. If it's indeed so, it is in your best interest to do whatever necessary to redeem yourself, and then perhaps you will get a chance to salvage your dynasty's reputation. The Lord Inquisitor mentioned in his letter that he is willing to show leniency toward my actions that would otherwise be interpreted as radical. That is correct. I should show greater tolerance for the mistakes of a newly appointed rogue trader. To be frank, I am surprised the Lord Inquisitor is not the type to indulge the weakness of soul and mind, even somehow who only recently accepted the burden of a lofty title. I want to know more about the cult of the Final Dawn. Chaos worshippers, most often agent of the throne, run into lone renegades stirring up the rubble. Insane prophets and historic visionaries preaching the end of days. A passing comet, a mutant rebellion, an onslaught of monsters. Each time they come up with a new reason why people should prostrate themselves and quiver in fear. Much effort and the blood of those loyal to the Golden Throne were spent before we established the connection between those heretics. However, the cult of the Final Dawn is something greater than a gaggle of misguided seers and fortune tellers. Yeah, they are connected with Chaos Space Marines. We know that, and I think you were there. They cleverly spread their agents all over the Chronos Expanse, dismantling heresy among honest people on the Imperial world. There's a certain strategy to their actions that changes whenever we get too close, and finally they have enough military power to have had the 2 ships that we had sent after them later discovered as wreckage. The growing difficulty in making warp jumps is detrimental to us, but is unlikely to inconvenience those who engage in wild sorcery day in, day out. Henrix sighs. After the events of Wicked Memories, I suspect the cult might have built its nest inside Winterscale's domain, but the latest reports indicate it is your protectorate that is harboring heretics. Being in your entourage improves my chances of getting closer to the secrets. I've already agreed to give you a place aboard my ship. What else? The road trader should deliver me to the system that contains the industrial world of Kiabagamma. I will accompany you to the surface and determine what the cult is planning and how it intends to use the resources that have fallen into their clutches, which may very well include the blast engines of the Adeptus Mechanicus and even the followers of the Omnissiah themselves. Well, Pascal won't be happy. I will be frank, the answer to this question is unlikely to please either of us. The machinations of chaos usually go beyond solely inflicting countless deaths and destruction. Having their plans come to fruition would lead to far more terrible consequences. One of the system in the Chronos Expanse is already lost. May the Emperor protect us from watching this tragedy play out again. Let us assume Kiabagamma has fallen to heresy. What then? Will you again purposely destroy an entire planet? Henrix stares you down. On Wicked Memories you made a decision that sent billions of souls into the grasp of the archenemy. An unreasonable and unforgettably high price for a small handful of people saved by your mercy. Do I consider it a worthy exchange? I most certainly do not. Will I make every effort to make sure such an exchange does not happen again? Of course I will. Sentimentally is a luxury I cannot afford. I do not believe you lack compassion. You did not stop me after all, although you certainly could have tried to. I guess sometimes the good of the demands we turn a blind eye on the fate of its individual servants. Yeah. I think what made the decision there I wanted is to save the reactor, the fusion reactor. You needn't have used the word sometimes. The good of the Imperium always prevails over the lives of its individual servants. I may sometimes falter, but that speaks of my weakness, not the generosity of my soul. Much hinges on the decisions made by the Inquisition, sometimes far more than an ordinary servant of the throne can see. What did your suspicion fall on Kiewa Gamma? Well, why did your suspicion fall on Kiewa Gamma? These joined in pieces of data that finally merged into a single picture. Additionally, not long ago, a vessel from that world arrived on footfall. Yeah, we saw that. The reports from the crew were confused and alarming, making me fear a planet-wide rebellion. We met a Chaos Space Marine on Reich Minories. Do we risk running into his brothers? I have no doubt it will happen sooner or later, Trakan. Chaos Marines seeding with the cult is very, very bad news. Most likely they kept away until recently, pulling their puppet strings from a respectable distance. These traitors seldom show up alone. The best we can count on is having to deal with just a squad of Chaos Case Marines in a close expand and not an entire company. I won't let anyone throw their weight around on my words, be they servants of chaos, Xenos, or heretics. And that's true. I'm interested in Xenotech, but I'm not interested in having my world controlled by them. A commendable aspiration for a person who holds the fates of billions of people and dozens of imperial worlds in his hand, which is why you need to be even more vigilant when looking for seeds of corruption on your planets. Lest they sprout someday and spell doom for whatever is tangled up in their roots. That is enough discussion about the arch-enemy's servants. Tell me about the Drukhari who stole Rikard's son. Henrix winces. The Drukhari, one of the branches of the Eldar and an ancient and vicious Xeno race. Those creatures are a living terror to ordinary people who fall prey to their raids, for the simple reason that the victims are not killed outright but instead become their playthings. Just as you and I need air to survive, the Drukhari require psychic energy born from the torment and pain, which they extract from their captives with uncanny expertise. Their ships, which are difficult to mistake for any other, arrive suddenly and undetected. Their stealth technologies greatly surpass the capabilities of standard Imperium Agor arrays. The objective of their raids is never to capture a world or a ship. No, they are only interested in fresh victims. After filling their holes with living captives, they disappear into the webway, a different dimension which conceals the greatest stronghold, Komorag, the dark city of the Drukhari from which no one can hope to escape. Henry studies your expression. I do not know why the Drukhari stole Rikard's son and brought about the fulfillment of the cult's prophecies. Perhaps the Xenos themselves have played into the Archemist's design, or perhaps Aurora's divination in fact described the Drukhari's action. There is only one thing I say with absolute certainty. There is no alliance between the cult of the Final Dawn and the Xenos. It's simply impossible. Well, I wouldn't be so sure of that. If it's a good business, okay, it's not impossible, it's just very unlikely, but there can be a connection. Let us depart from business matters, Henrix. You once promised to entertain me with a compelling conversation. Surely this is not what you had in mind. I do remember our exchange. For the time being, however, I prefer to focus on my direct responsibilities. You hear a note of regret in Henry's voice as he shakes his head. Perhaps later, after Kiewa Gamma. Henrix inclines his head. Thank you for sparing the time, Lord Captain. Okay, great. Do we have something to do with this cogitator? No. Now let's get back onto the bridge and not the bathhouse. And let's talk to the dear sister. She should be... This is the back. Should be down there. Okay, Argenta.
Greetings.
Even in stillness, Sister Argenta radiates energy. With her dark eyes shining and a slight blush to her cheeks, she's directing a prayer and looks at you only once she has spoken the final line. I'm waiting for you to tell me about your past and to explain the strange words of that cultist on Footfall.
Yes, I'm ready. I would ask only one thing of you, Rogue Trader. If I may, I would like to see the chamber of the Sacred Warrant and kneel before the relic touched by the Emperor himself. A difficult conversation lies ahead of us, and I wish to pray by the relic before I lay my soul bare.
Okay, let's do that. I think we can trust her on this. Of course, let us go there right away. Argenta nods gratefully. And this will be another excuse to not have voice acting. I hope we'll have. Argenta drops to her knees, her hands making the sign of the Aquila. Her eyes are locked on the sweeping signature on the warrant, seemingly mundane thing, merely a flourish of a piece on a piece of paper, unless one knows whose hand left that mark and whose blood is on the paper. If thou seest a flaw in me, smite me. If thou knowest a fall of mine, burn me with flames of fury and righteousness. But if thou seest a light in me, grace me. If thou hearts hearest this plea of mine, bless me with wrath of fury and of righteousness. Argenta's voice is sonorous as if made for singing hymns and prayers, but right now she cannot seem to catch her breath, so overwhelmed with emotions is she. For I breathe by the will of thine, for I live by the law of thine. I will thy word, O Emperor. I bring solace to servants of thine, and win to foes of thine. A fate so terror and righteous, fate of terror and righteousness. Upon finishing, she closes her eyes and remains silent for a long time with her head raising high. Slowly, like the first licks of a flame in a campfire, a smile blossoms on her lips. And that would be so cool if that would be voice acted. Even if it's just that part of the conversation. When Argenta finally opens her eyes, they are alight with uncanny resolution. Rogue Trader, we need to talk, or rather, I need to tell you something. The truth about how I ended up on Theodora von Volance's ship and about the cultists we encountered on Footfall. I'm listening. Please understand, I couldn't trust you before. I tell you my story and you will see why. Argenta pauses. I start at the beginning. It's easier to piece everything together that way. Upon arriving in the expanse and on Footfall, I found no purpose here, only torment. I wasn't needed. The reliquary I had been assigned to safeguard was already well protected by Reverend Hieronymus' mission, and no one was even trying to defile it. For all its lawlessness, Footfall respects the worship of the Emperor. That was when Lady Theodora, head of your dynasty, appeared. She became an agent of divine will in a way. Argenta faltered, searching for the words. It was from her that I learned about a planet recently discovered by her scouts. Solis Prime. For a road trader, the planet was of little interest, a feral world away from convenient warp routes. But for me, learning about its existence was a revelation. I never even heard of such a planet. Does it belong to the Von Valancius dynasty? Yes, now the planet is yours by right, but it's not as simple as that. The warp route leading to it was lost. I will explain in due time. May I continue? Please continue. The description of Solis Prime was familiar to me. It seems very similar to a word from an ancient legend. The legend of Saint Argenta and her ship. Her voice grows reverent. Argenta, the living saint, she is my patroness. The order named me after her. She died millennia ago when heretics caused her ship to fall from the skies. But even those blasphemers could not touch Argenta's ashes or her holy relic, the One Star. For the fallen ship, which now served as the resting place for the saints' remains, would only allow the truly righteous to enter. All others would meet their death. Imagine what I felt when this flash of insight came upon me. The word where Saint Argenta's ship fell was merely a vague legend. No one knew its actual whereabouts, and suddenly I myself, named after the saint, come across this information. I realized at that moment that I was a portent, that I must journey to the planet and find the ship. And so I asked Reverend Hieronymus to let me go for a time on a personal pilgrimage. I boarded Theodora's ship and demanded passage to the newly discovered planet Solis Prime. Why did you keep your suspicions from Reverend Hieronymus? Surely he could have helped you with the search for the ship and the saints' remains. I couldn't just come out and tell him. It was a portent revealed to me personally, can't you see? I told Reverend Hieronymus the honest truth, that I was going to a personal pilgrimage to embolden my spirit. I really was a pilgrimage. It was as if Saint Argenta herself had shown me the way, commanding me to undertake this trail. If I had found the ship and set foot on its decks, if I had laid my hands on her remains and the relic, it would have been a sign that I truly had been blessed with the saint's favor. That was irresponsible of you. If you had gotten yourself killed on the planet, no one would have learned about its existence and the holy relic would have been lost. Holy relics cannot be truly lost, Argenta says stubbornly. When the time is right, they reveal themselves to the worthy. But I will accept this reapproach and try my best to think on it. I always imagined Theodora was thrilled with the prospect. Lady Theodora lent her assistance. It was her intention to visit the newly discovered world, and she took me with her. You mentioned something called the One Star. What is it? Apologies, I got so carried away I forgot to explain. The One Star is the relic kept by Saint Argenta. I belong to the Order Pronatus, and we attach particular significance to holy relics. The One Star is one of the lost relics of the past, so mysterious that no one even knows what it is exactly. Argenta's hagiography at times calls it a banner or a set of armor or a blessed chainsword. One thing is certain, it was a beacon of righteousness and it was lost with Argenta's death. I hope it's not a chainsword, because you don't do melee. What happened next? Defeat, Argenta says bitterly. The ship's augurs failed to detect anything of note during orbital scanning. I was expecting this though. According to the legend, the ship can conceal itself from the naked eye and only a pilgrim guided by a pure heart can find it. What I didn't expect was an ambush waiting for us on the planet. I landed there with a small unit provided by Theodora. I know St. Argenta's geography by heart. I knew all the legends about her. I followed their obscure clues, the description of mountains and rivers from millennia-old tales, and I was certain that I had found the way to the ship, and that's when we were attacked. The words we heard in the heretic shrine on Footfall. Something about ways doors, please addressed to some lord, the edge of daybreak. Argenta is shaking with disgust. They were the same words as those spoken by the cultists who attacked us on Sully's Prime. My whole unit perished. All those honest, brave people I had let search for the relic. It was only a miracle that I didn't perish along with them. I didn't connect these events at first. The cultist on Footfall, the cultist on Sully's Prime, the cultist attacking the ship, and Connor's betrayal. What if these are all links in the same chain? What if they have long since infiltrated the ranks of the Von Balancius servants? What if I led those heretics to the sacred planet with my search? No need to blame yourself. If the heretics really had wormed their way into the Von Balancius ranks by then, they would have found the planet even without you going there. I doubt it. No one except me was particularly interested in the planet. Conrad, on the other hand, he sympathized with me when I first came abroad. He helped arrange an audience with Theodora and supported me in my effort to visit the planet. I never told him plainly why I wanted to go there, but I imagined that that vulture must have figured out that it was something important, something related to the holy faith of the Imperium. And what could delight a heretic more than defiling a relic? So how did you manage to escape from the cultist? Argenta hangs her head. Theodora's people received the distress call, came to my rescue and brought me aboard the ship. I barely remember what happened when they arrived. I was already severely wounded, fighting back with whatever remained of my strength. I think I shouted that we had to go after them, but they didn't listen. They took me to the shuttle and pulled out. After that, it's all blackness. When I came to, we were already in the middle of a warp jump. Theodora had urgent matters to take care of, and she decided that she could clear out the planet at a later time. Sadly, the only one who might have all the answers, Conrad, escaped. Oh yes, and I sincerely hope that we will meet him again. That serpent needs to answer a few questions before he is plunged into cleansing flame. And that's why you didn't trust me before, correct? Yes, Rogue Trader, Argenta looks you in the eye. I saw with my own eyes how a member of your family showed his true colors as a servant of the archenemy. I had already suffered a humiliating defeat at the hands of cultists and was afraid of another betrayal. I couldn't be forthright with you, and so I studied you, looking for seeds of corruption or the light of righteousness. And what did you find? A man who stood shoulder to shoulder with me and helped eradicate the cultist on Footfall. Argenta smiles as if reminiscing about a pleasant evening spent in the company of friends rather than a bloody battle. Although my opinion of you started to change even before then, back when you agreed to talk to the orphans at my request. A leader who's willing to honor those who lay down their lives for them and take care of their children is a leader who inspires trust. And the way you acted in that moment. Do you remember there was a young man whose grief and confusion had driven him to insolence? You didn't turn a blind eye to his misdeed, but you chose the right words to show him the path to redemption. It was harsh, but necessary, like the Emperor's truth, like bitter medicine that helps the sick. I learned much about you in that moment, Rogue Trader, and I want to believe that I was mistaken in my judgment. So just to clarify, you were wounded, so never found Saint Argenta's ship, is that right? Yes, I rushed to Theodora the moment I could walk again, and I insisted on going back to Salis Prime to defend the relic from the heretics, but I was told that the warp had destroyed the old route to the planet and that plotting a new one would take a great deal of time and effort, as if there could be anything more important than protecting a faith and hunting down servants of the Arch Enemy. In any event, the route was lost and all knowledge of it died in the attack on the ship along with the old navigator. But now we have a new lead, the data that we collected in the cultist shrine on Footfall. I don't care what that reprobable we executed said, there must be a way to track them down. Tell me, Rogue Trader, will you help me in this undertaking? Will you help me find this great relic and return it to the people of the Imperium? Okay, so we can agree with her with 4 different ways. That's a personal thing. I think we are know it is linked to the code. If the Accursed Phanodon is involved again, it is my duty to help you. That cult must be reduced to ashes throughout the entire Chronos expanse. Argenta walks up and places her hand on your shoulder. So be it, Rogue Trader, as I stand before or hear the warrant, the embodiment of the Emperor's will marked by his own hand. I vow that I will not relent until the Holy Relic has been returned and the heretics punished. And may the light be with us both on this path. Okay, now I have complete trust on Argenta. I don't think she would betray us, even if we do something heretical. Well, if it's not, if it lesser, well, just as the Inquisitors said, I think she would be lenient in some heretical decisions or radical decisions. Heretical decisions. Okay, we talked with everyone we needed to talk. Now let's start moving around in the system a little bit. Oh, or not. Lord Captain, we are once more within reach of the Von Valancios Protectorate. Of utmost urgency, restoring communication with your planets and bestowing the vision of your decrees upon their steward. Developing colonies, claiming new territories, establishing trade links, all this is now your privilege and burden. Drusus Blessing. Oh, that's the for the priest. Okay, there's a dead word, and they are the tech priests. And I know Pascal specifically said don't go there, but the game allows us. Maybe we should go there. But first, let's check this vessel out. Lord Captain, we have the flagship Drusus Blessing with your small escort dead ahead. We are requesting a direct vox channel, patching you through. Chartist Captain Asterius Sorfas. The vox channel clicks, and after a brief pause, a dry, low voice hails you. Greetings, Lord Captain. I am honored to speak with the Rogue Trader of Von Valancios. May your name be known through the ages. Cartist Captain Asterius Sorfas, bearer of the free a free carter of the merchant fleet. How can I be of service? What is your squadron doing here? We develop supply routes for cartists. You see, my ship is a representative of the merchant fleet in this part of the Imperium territory, yet we do not have fixed charter-defined trade route. Our mission is to establish business contacts with voidfarers in need of regular ship repairs and those who are interested in specialized goods. I want to take a catalog of components available for purchase. And these are the Imperial Navy. Okay, so we can upgrade the ship. You have received new equipment for your ship. To install, open the voice management screen from the panel on the right. Double click on the equipment's icon or hold left and drag it to the desired section. Military camera. Okay, we might want to go in one reputation with them. What? Okay, we need a different type of things here. Why is bullshit of any targeting data granting chance and okay, and all right, so they can do that. Okay, but that's an entirely different cargo what they require. Let's go to this dead world. It's not a death, it's a dead world. Okay, begin scan. Extract room 5. Mobile mining outpost assembled in accordance with the best standard template construct. This small industrial complex can be deployed on practically any world, however inhospitable. The self-clan assigned it will okay, and we can but there are no resources. At least we have scanned it. So let's move here. Lord Captain, the station's airlocks have been sealed from the inside. A Vox recording is stating that the priesthood of the Altar Templum's Galaxy's X-20 Sanctuary have no desire to communicate with the laity and are refusing access to guests on the basis of the Adeptus Mechanicus privilege of inviolability, granting them sole jurisdiction over their sacred sites. So we can't go there, or if we are going there, okay. So that is something that will come later. Alright. Let's watch management, then let's go back to the bridge. And I think we should try to travel one of our birds in our protectorate. And I don't know how we do that.
Lord Captain. Lord Captain.
So big opportunity. The Cotadal, who recently joined the Rogue Traders Fraternity, is ready to come to business big and small. The Lord Captains can listen to just in business proposition on the oh yes, we have to talk with her as well. Let's do that and search for her.
Allow me to thank you again for helping me with the cargo, Shireen. I am sure the Ashmags who squirreled away my goods won't give up so easily, and I'll hear more about their scheming yet. Let's strike a deal, Shireen. I will watch your back if you do me a favor and watch mine. Well, enough jokes. Is there something you wanted?
Was there some business you wish to discuss?
Oh, Shireen, I did manage to spark your interest. Allow me to invite you to a more private place. My words are meant for your ears alone.
So we can do more reading. The flickering light of dozens of candles play across Jaya's face, making her small smile appear even more mysterious. Shireen, the exalted one himself brought us together the day you crossed Vladim's threshold. He led us to the cargo and gave his blessing for its return. Do you know what people on my world say when such things happen? What's gained is to be shared with your neighbor. She points at the containers in front of her. One contains a polished elderly rifle, a rare model, and the other holds an ornate sword. I am sharing what I've gained with you. Please accept this humble gift in honor of our wildly successful, though suddenly strong friendship. Oh. This rifle can only perform dead-eye shots attacks. We just use dead-eye shot attacks for a while now. Whenever the wielder scores a critical hit with a single shot attack, they gain an additional attack this turn. Oh. Now the only thing we need is Eldari or Eldar weapon proficiency. And this is also an Eldar sword. A truly wonderful gift. I accept it with gratitude. I knew you would appreciate the Xenos mastery of their craft. Jia beams at you, curling a lock of black hair around an augmented finger. After a brief pause, she awkwardly continues. So, the matter I wanted to discuss with you is related to my business. You know that I sell Xeno artifacts to interested Imperial subjects and Imperial trinkets to Xenos. Business is going well, my network runs even without my participation. But when it comes to expansions, well, that is where I hit a wall. Rivals envious of my success. Jay throws up her hands. Falco especially. I am certain the theft of the cargo was his doing, but I can never predict what that Ashmag will do next. And while the Imperium's authority may be fragmented in the expanse, yeah, it could crack down on people of my profession at any time. Go on. If the Rogue Trader put in a good word for me with the servants of the Adeptus Administratum, I could become an official trader representative of the Imperium. Just imagine it, a little scrap of paper will offer me and my agents protection against Ashmag's schemes far better than any refactor field, and even the Inquisition will have to think twice before they mess with me, because I'll be representative of the law in my own right. Okay, now what she's asking is a bit of a stretch. I like her, but I'm not trusting her that much. And the best part of all is that it will cost you precisely nothing, Shireen. All you have to do is stop by the Administratum Palace and obtain a certificate from the Master of Seals. My informants tell me that the palace is located on Dargonus, your capital world. You see how everything has aligned so wonderfully, and of course I will repay you in kind. How do I benefit from you gaining official status? Besides being in a recipient of my eternal gratitude, Shireen, Joe playfully raises a brow. Won't it be beneficial to have someone in your retinue with the weight of authority behind them rather than just another pawn? One slip of paper and I will be able to extend my network to system far beyond. For my agents will be your eyes and ears through the expanse. Now we're talking. But we will see how can we control her. Because we either gain a powerful ally and network we can use, and I have a distinct feeling it will come handy in the future. But the thing is, she can just turn on us. She will have her own authority. She can leave the retinue and we might have to face her. Okay, but that sounds simple enough, so I think I will bite. I believe... do I believe that her gratitude is genuine, or she... Of course she's happy that we managed to get back her cargo. No doubts about it. But I don't know if she just used this opportunity to rise in power. The thing is, if we can trust her. And I don't really know that. I shall take it into consideration. Perhaps your talks will move in the right direction with a little encouragement from me, Shireen. You must have some faction in mind that you would like to establish relation with. The several Drusians, the hot-headed pirates of the Casbolica, you merely need to use the right words like a key for a lock, and people will open their hearts to you, or their wallets. I will arrange everything you merely have to ask. I think the Drusians would be the better one, because we already have a good sniper, but we need the Malta guns. The Casbolica has other Xeno stuff, but I wish to develop friendly relations with Drusians. Not a problem, Shireen. I will have my people put in a good word for you in the right circles. And if you change your mind about my proposal, you can always find me nearby the bridge. Just say the word and I come, Shireen. Okay, I think what we have to do is bring her along on more missions. And maybe we will find something out about her, if we can trust her or not. Or we could just simply talk to her more. Let's check for reputation. 2000. It's fine. We also need opportunities to improve or profit. So shall we talk to her again? Let's talk to her again and try to find out what kind of person she is.
May the Exalted One protect you. Have you grown bored with our little talk, Shireen?
You don't look like a typical smuggler.
No truer words have ever been said. I'm far more exciting than some small-time peddlers from Footfall. Allow me to introduce myself properly. I am Jai Amira Fatqin Tamiri Ash Ifrit, the 12th daughter of the Lord of Ifrit, a distant world at the fringes of the Imperium. The youngest child is destined to become a bargaining chip in the family's political games. But I was unwilling to accept such a fate, and wanted to choose what to become and which path to follow. When I learned the Exalted One watches over hundreds of other worlds amidst distant stars, I understood there was an entire world of opportunities beyond Ifrit. All I had to do was break the familial bonds tying me down and escape the planet. Which I did a long time ago.
The Exalted One is the Emperor. The guide, the ruler, and the higher power to which humanity offers their prayers for and deliverance. Most would be driven mad with despair if they knew the truth. Okay, yes, that's the Emperor of mankind. How did you escape from Ifrit?
I convinced my father I personally wished to oversee the inspection of imported goods. I had to get experience so I wouldn't bring shame on our family, didn't I? I made friends with traders, missionaries, and soldiers at the port. I listened to their stories, studied the charts, learned what documents I had to forge to escape the planet. A kind word here, a shiny coin there. And here I am, in the iron belly of a ship, braving the void in search of a new life.
Judging by your implants, you have had quite a few close shaves over the years.
Consider it a mark of my trade. This year, Xenos. Dumb-headed orcs. Who knew that we weren't the only ones to get tempted by the wreck of that raider? As for this treasure, I received it as a reward for a life that had been just a little too good. I was in a hurry to get to the Adeptus Amasacus after the Exalted One blessed me with immense wealth. I was 2 backstreets away from the den when a pathetic ashmag attacked me, envious of somebody else's fortune.
You are familiar with implants like the one that has replaced Jaya's neck. It's merely one part of a massive augmentation replacing the internal organs. A slit throat could not have been the cause for installing such a sophisticated device. And we can't mention that to her, that we know that something is not there. The other hand, she's might be lying. No, she's not lying to us. Maybe she's just afraid to be honest. And I can understand that. But so far, what she have done, it's okay. Why did you choose to come to the Kronos Expanse?
The Keronis Expanse. A gorgeous name, isn't it? But this backwater wasn't my original destination when I escaped Sherin. Oh no, it was the rumors of incredible freedom that brought me to the Keronis Expanse. Freedom that is generously bestowed upon everyone who can survive in these parts. All doors are open here. You can become a saint, a mogul, a kingmaker, or anyone you like, really. Here, hard work pays off, unless you're used to lying by the roadside and complaining instead of toiling for the good of your soul, glory, wallet, or whatever floats your boat. I'm used to working hard, and so I found my blessing.
Thank you for sharing this.
All relationships are based on mutual trust. That goes for business too.
Tell me about your business in the Kronos Expanse.
My trade means knowing the right people and non-people, having the right connections, and making sure the precious goods find their way into the hands of my no less precious customers. My wisdom includes the knowledge of the enemies of humankind, be they Xenos or the lowest scum of the Imperium, as well as the latest knowledge about how they charge for any particular curio at the Footfall Market. Not even the most cunning Ajri will deceive you as long as I am with you, Sherin. I promise you that. Whatever I have can be yours too, if your unfathomable wealth isn't enough for you already, I mean.
Do you do business with the enemies of humanity?
It has been known to happen. After years of dealing with Xenos, I've learned their customs, and even got a grasp of their language. Except they cringe whenever I start speaking. Arrogant sods. They dislike even our voices, but they never turn away our valuables. Then again, I'm used to seeing sour faces. In this trade, the easily offended go out of business.
Perhaps your knowledge will serve the Mont Balancius Protectorate.
I have no doubt you will have to deal with Xenos sooner or later. When that time comes, Shireen, you will thank the Exalted One for sending me to stand at your side.
You have many talents.
Thank you, Shireen. Being able to read and write is chief among them. You may not be aware, but this science is beyond the abilities of billions of the Imperium subjects. And yet they happily keep drudging along in their factories, fundi, and assembly lines. Me? I didn't escape Ifrit to consign myself to such misery. It was literacy that paved my path to copied orders, forged signatures, counterfeited papers. The wonderful things that make the wheels of bureaucracy turn in the right direction.
Are you really that rich?
Compared to the rabble on footfall, perhaps. Compared to you. Be it power or money, I still have a long way to go. I could purchase one of Footfall's asteroids, but not a planet. I could subjugate a few gangs from the shady districts, but not Vladaya. And so the answer to your question is no. I do not consider myself rich. I am not rich enough.
You could be sitting back reaping the fruits of your own work, so why have you chosen to embrace the death of life aboard a void ship?
You're fun to talk. I grew tired of scribing endless contracts and agreements neatly tucked away on Footfall. Well, I did that for how many years? But here, among the stars, you are always balanced on a knife edge. Nothing thrills me more than the tension of a warp jump, or the danger that lurks around every corner on a planet. Footfall was beginning to make me fat and stupid, Shireen. I do not want that.
Jia speaks measuredly with just the right amount of laziness in her voice, but her performance cannot conceal the slight tremble in her voice. Whatever Jia is afraid of, that is what drove her off Footfall. Okay. So she is running from something. What about your gang that stayed back at Footfall? Do you trust them?
Do I trust the Trickster twins? By the Exalted One, no. The underhanded rogues of Footfall came up with that name for a reason. The tricks of those frenzied ashmags are all about things far more intriguing than the honest and law-abiding subjects of the Imperium can imagine.
The mention of her fellow cold traders made Jai's eyes shine a bit brighter than usual.
On the other hand, this is why I am keeping them close. Kor and Tora know who lifted them out of the cesspit proudly called the Shadow Quarters, and who has been feeding that ravenous beast their insatiable lust for lucre. No, they are not going to betray me if only because they know I am now a part of your entourage, Shireen. They're not going to let the biggest pie in the Imperium pass them by without trying to get a slice for themselves.
Tell me about Xenos of the Chronos Expanse.
Vicious, cruel, dangerous beasts. Humans hold little interest for Xenos. We are entertainment for them, a means to keep boredom at bay. A commodity. But some of them contact us once in a while using their own people. Do not deceive yourself by thinking you are safe because there are no Xenos inside. Those Agi are as cunning as they are ruthless. They cleverly pull at the strings of spies and traitors, subjugate those who do not fall for the promised reward, transform the ones who resist their promises into soulless puppets. The Emperor watches over me, and that is why I still haven't succumbed to the fate of many of my associates who have lost their lives to the stringy scoundrels.
Let's talk about something else.
I think we've said all there is to say on this topic.
I have seen enough of the shiny wrapping of the Chronos Expanse. Tell me about the dark side. Well, I don't know, guys. We seen Chaos Cultist blinding other people, a Chaos Space Marine. We ran into a ritual which summoned demons, but sure, we haven't seen any of the dark side of the Chronos Expanse. And now I'm starting to pronounce that correctly, because I mispronounced it all the way and no one told me about that.
The dark side is the real Coronis Expanse, if you ask me. But what do you want to know about it, Shireen?
How do they do things on Footfall?
Dynasties drink with criminals. Rogue traders strike deals with the Casbalica. And dozens of ships stop off for a welcome break from a long voyage. Is there a more beautiful place in the entire Imperium? The Emperor is merciful to the meek and the powerful alike. There's a job for everyone as long as they have a head on their shoulders. And if you feel like talking to him in person, the statue of the Exalted One can be seen from any asteroid. You can pray to your heart's content.
Tell me about the Casbalica mission.
An ancient crime cartel that originated with the first settlers of the Calixis sector. It is run by shadowy clans with robber barons at the helm. Cross their path and you risk making enemies all over the Coronis Expanse, or even the entire Imperium. As for the agents, they are just shameless, greedy scum. Every third person on Footfall is a Casbalican. But that doesn't mean all that rotten filth is acting together. I've been set up more than once just so some Casbalican can get one over on his rivals. And yet, the Casbalica is generous to its customers, if you can afford it. Anything can be obtained, organized, and transported for the right price. The customer is always right, unless they happen to be a rat. In which case...
Scum, rotten filth rats, it is almost as Jaya's must briefly slipped and she started using words that have no place in the vocabulary of someone from the upper start of the Imperium. In that case, I think she was telling the truth. Are you one of the Casbalica's robber barons?
What gave you such an outrageous idea? Was it my immaculate garment? My gorgeous jewelry? Do not worry, Shireen. I will let you know once I become a baroness, should the Exalted One will it. Just imagine the strong and fruitful alliance that could be forged between a rogue trader and the mastermind of the Casbalica.
Did you become a Casbalican agent?
It's not hard to do on Footfall. I spent a year working for good old Christo. He was a brave soldier who gave up the ghost in a scuffle with orcs, and then took over his business. Having a good head on your shoulders and keeping the Exalted One in your heart helps to establish new contacts quickly. Eventually, I gathered together a group of honest and loyal people, and it only took a few successful contracts for the Casbalica to take notice. I quickly settled on Footfall and started dispensing my wisdom to my protégés and subordinates. I lost the taste for getting my hands dirty.
Tell me about the cold trade.
It really is simple, Shireen. The Casbalica runs the Imperium's black market, offering special goods to those who can afford their services. Yes, I am talking about Xeno artifacts too. Alien weapons, technology, sometimes even certain kinds of living creatures. Unlike the rogue traders whose sacred warrants make them immune even from the laws of the Exalted One, Casbalican agents are used to hiding and covering their tracks. Nobody wants to draw unwanted attention, no matter who might take an interest. Especially now that the Coronis Expanse has a warrior of the Golden Throne as its watchman.
Let's change the subject.
Why not? The decision is yours, Shireen.
Do you know Theodora von Valancius, my predecessor?
It is difficult not to be aware of the powers that be. especially ones like Lord Captain Theodora. But we never met personally, as the difference between our positions was far too great. Theodora was a mighty ruler, the center of her own universe, and I, a pathetic commoner, was nothing next to her. But you were kind to me, Shireen, and in my eyes that put you above your esteemed aunt, or whoever she was to you.
Keep using words I don't understand, like calling me Shireen.
The language on Ifrit, my home world, is quite different from the one spoken in the Coronis Expanse. We bestow more than one meaning upon each word, allowing our wise men to fully express their sagacious thoughts, and us lowly commoners our base passions and desires. Take Aji, for example. That is what I call every piece of scum and villain, because Aji means evil and foe and pathetic worm unworthy of consideration. Or take Ashmag. It means fool and little brother and blind man who stumbled and would fall into a pit without guidance. Shireen means friend and comrade and roommate in a battle formation, like we are.
You must forgive my prying, but has the esteemed princess's heart been claimed by some lucky fellow?
Or lucky lady, you mean? My heart has been coveted by proud men with hard eyes, gentle maidens with sensual voices, imperious lords and fierce leaders of void brigands. Only rogue traders have not yet featured among Jai Hedari's intimate friends. Why do you ask, Shiri?
Well, it seems that we will be just one off on her list. But why not? I enjoy being with you. I would like us to spend more time together.
Oh, Sharif. With a few words, you have managed to make my heart flutter like a songbird caught in the snare of a skilled hunter. You enjoy being with me. Perhaps you even find me amusing? Every girl dreams of hearing that she will make a fine toy and a worthy diversion.
Jay injected just enough sarcasm into her voice for you to notice, and just enough playful irony to entice the curve of her smile. It does not really matter, forget it.
How strange. But I dare not disobey, Shireen. If you command me to forget, the winds of oblivion will carry the memories you scorn from my mind.
We will go back on that later when we know more about her. But at least, if she really wants that merchant certificate, then she would just say yes to our advances. So that's a good sign that we might trust her.
Oh, I have no doubt you will.
All right. So the thing is, we should figure out how to. Maybe we have to speak with the Hellmaster. Or the Voxmaster. That will be all for now. Osterhelmsman Ravor. But I think we will speak with him later. Maybe with speaking with Cassia.
Words cannot describe how boring the bridge is without our stimulating conversations. I have enjoyed your company. Thank you for the conversation.
Okay. So I want to figure out how can we travel to any of our planets, but I think the answer lies in the map. Is there anything we can... It's all integrity. Reclaim was lost. Okay, but we... Process protectorate has been established by the disturbances in the warp and the trade and transport restoring links. Okay, that's fine and all. How can we warp travel? Maybe we have to go back on football station. What is endurance? Road portals. Lead exam. Okay, how can we... Map of the Coron suspense. Ah! Travel between system is fraught with mortal peril and takes place in another dimension known as the warp. Only a navigator can plot course through the warp to other star system. Click the circular button at the bottom of the screen to have the ship's navigator chart new routes to the system you have selected. To initiate the travel, click left button on the system and press the warp travel button. A route's color is an indication of its danger level. Green routes are the absolute safest. Yellow routes signal unpredictable events can occur during the jump. Orange routes denote a high probability of the ship coming under attack even in the warp. Red routes are sure sign that the ship will be assaulted by hostile forces during travel. The ship's navigator can make routes safer by spending points of navigators inside, which can be acquired by discovering and scanning new systems through the Condos Expanse. The cold one. Winter Scales Realm. The Condos Expanse. Okay, we don't see anything here. Chart new routes. Ah, now we are talking. To the Imperium. Wow. Under scanning could not reveal route to the selected system, but you can still get there by spending points of navigator insight to be put a guaranteed direct path. Click on a system that can use a mere insight chart. And we cannot. Can we see the on Balancius? Neus Malefic. Unbeholden Reaches. Founding Worlds. Cauldron. Winterscale's Realm. Eaten Stars. Accursed Demands. Let's make a safe route here. Route is safe. Route is unsafe. Dangerous. Okay, so this is the more dangerous one. Let's go with the safe one first. This is an uncharted system. Okay, let's go back. How can we go back to the system map? Wow, it's so cool. We can see the operation station. And what's up here? Let me see that side of the table. Yeah. Okay, and visit. Okay, I think we will leave it here now. We know how to now I forgot the word. Explore, yes. Now we know how to explore, and we will do that in the next episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and leave a comment down there. And I see you in the next one. Bye.